Assalamualaikum everyone. We are from Group 1. My name is Aliff Haiqal from the IB3B. So today I'm going to talk about the definition of business cycle. Firstly, business cycle is a term of business cycle, or more specifically called as economic cycle, that refers to economic or wide fluctuations in production or economic activity. Next, business cycle is measured by considering the growth rate of real gross domestic product. It is like a wave movement in economic activity. Business cycle is divided by 4 phases, which is peak, recession, trough, and the last one is recovery. So let's move on to the 4 phases.
So today I will continue my group presentation about business cycle. So I will explain about the 4 phases of business cycle, which is the first phase is peak, the second phase is recession, the third phase is trough, and the last phase is recovery. So the first phase is peak. Peak, also known as expansion, boom or upswing of economy. The features of peak phase is high level of output and trade, high level of effective demand, high level of income and employment, high level of marginal efficiency of capital, rising interest rates, inflation, large expansion of bank credit, and the last one is overall business optimism. So let's move on to the second phase, which is recession. Economic activities slow down during a recession period. The features of the recession phase is an increase in level of unemployment, a decrease in the volume of output, trade and transactions, a decline in consumption, expenditure and investment level. A deep and prolonged recession is known as a deep depression. Normally lasts for a 6 months period with continued decline in real GDP. So we move to the third phase, which is trough. Trough, also known as a depression, contraction or downswing of economy. The trough is the bottom of the recession period. The features of trough phase is fall in volume of output and trade, fall in income and rise in unemployment, decline in consumption and demand, fall in interest rates, deflation, contraction of bank credit, and last one is overall business pessimism. So we move to the last phase, which is recovery. Recovery, also known as revival, initiated by government expenditure, change in production techniques, new innovations, and exploitation of new sources technology. Government expenditure stimulates the demand for consumption of goods. As a result, the employment level, output, income, wages, price and profit starts to increase. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nurwafri. So today I want to present about type of unemployment. Unemployment, known as individually who do not currently have a job but who are looking for a job. First is frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment occurs because of workers who are voluntary between jobs are temporarily unemployment for a short period of time. Second is cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment is involuntary unemployment due to a lack of demand for goods and services. Third is structural unemployment. Composition of the labour force does not responding quickly to meet changing demand. Next is technological unemployment. Technological unemployment occurs by changes in the technique of production. Next is casual and seasonal unemployment. Casual and seasonal unemployment can change by climatic and fashion or by the inherent nature of the industries. Next is disguised or hidden unemployment. It will only happen when the usage level increase from it supposed to be. Next is residual unemployment, caused by personal factors such as old age, physical or mental disability, poor work attitude, and inadequate training. Last but not least is real wage unemployment, considered to be the result of the real wages being above their market clearing level, leading about supply of demand. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Next, my name is Ahmad Safwan bin Muhammad Faiz, and I am going to continue Nurwafri's present. So we know that this pandemic of COVID-19 was give a big impact to our world. So how do we expect the global economy after this pandemic? So the global economy could shrink up by 1% in 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic. So it may contract even further if restrictions on the economic activities are extended without adequate fiscal response. So the next point is the COVID-19 pandemic will cause dramatic drops in FDI flows. And then the third one, MNEs, local business and investments also have been severely affected with far-reaching social and economic repercussions. And then the second last is the coronavirus crisis is the first and foremost public health threat, but it is also an increasingly an economic threat. The ongoing spread also of the new coronavirus has become one of the biggest threats to the global economy and the financial market. From the picture shows that the world economic impact of the virus. So we can see a lot of countries have been struggle to grow their economy during the pandemic. Then this is an example of how we're gonna be expected to the global economy after the pandemic of COVID-19. What we can see here is the billions of dollars have been lost in 2020. And although the forecast for 2021 is much better, so many analysts believe that the international travel and the tourism won't return to the normal pre-pandemic levels until around 2025. So the graph shows that weekly percentage change in the number of reservation in the year 2019 and then versus 2020. For the next example is most of country now in recession lah. So the first one, if the company is growing, that generally means more wealth and more get a new jobs lah. So it measure by looking at the percentage change in the gross domestic product or the value of goods and services produced, typically over 3 months of a year. So the next point is the IMF estimates the global economy shrunk by 4.4% in 2020. So the organization described that the decline as the worst since the Great Depressions of the 1930s. So the map shows that GDP growth in countries. So the only major economy to grow in 2020 was China. So for the next slide is the world economies is struggling with the rising unemployment. Millions of workers have been also put on the government supported job retention scheme as a part of the economy, such as tourism and hospitality, so have come to a near standstill. So the numbers of new job opportunities is still very low in many countries. So the chart shows that yearly unemployment rate change on a year 2019 compared to the 2020. Lastly, this is the example of Malaysia's unemployment rate from 2008 to 2020. So the impacts of COVID-19 on Malaysia's economy can be seen via high unemployment rate and depreciation. So in Malaysian ringgit against USD, in 2019, the unemployment rate of Malaysia is 3.3%, which means there are 500,000 and above individuals are unemployed. So we can see that the chart over there is shows that Malaysia's unemployment rate from 2008 to May 2020. So I think that's all from us. Thank you so much, and I hope you like it. Stay safe, everyone.